Look for the video. I can very clearly recall a day when I was with a companion. We were seated in a bar, chatting and joking while seated until I noticed, when I first saw a girl, it seemed like, when I saw an angel, my eyes grew wide and my heart began to race. So I decided I must go speak with her myself. As soon as I said this to myself, I began racing. Is she with him? Someone I'm not sure how to respond to. Perhaps she is unwilling to be worried. I should keep quiet about it. Would be appreciated. I wish I had known something stylish and self-assured to say currently, along with around a million other ideas that were completely useless to me. But the primary thought that kept coming to mind was that if I didn't go, I would regret it all night. I went to greet her, then I stopped and asked myself, what's the worst? That might occur, so I got up and went for a walk, approached her and explained all that was on. My thoughts were like, hey, how are you? If I didn't come, I would regret it all night. Come over and say hello right away for two reasons. Occurred initially, I felt a great burden, removed from my shoulders since I wasn't placing myself under a lot of pressure to appear hip, or to put it another way, the ideal thing I was simply allowing my thoughts to flow naturally. Flow forth, and it seemed as soon as she really enjoyed me, so we began teasing. She also gave us free drinks back and forth from the bartender, and all was proceeding flawlessly. And all of this took place since I ceased attempting to act with I shed my barrier and pretended to be confident. Since that night, let her see me for who I am. This is the only method I've used. I don't attempt to be cool or force myself on women. I simply state what's on if anything happens. In my mind, I am convinced that anything else serves only as a support or a barrier to hide behind. And I'll take a moment to explain. I read a story about you a long time ago. Research that covered psychology, the reason behind a person's laughter. It examined how every individual has a distinct chuckle and the way it changes with time, any way to keep it short and refrain from creating. There are two kinds, and the video is extremely lengthy, of silent and loud laughs, giggling. If we reflect on for thousands of years, people lived in tribes. The tribal leader would be, or the powerful men's boisterous laughter, and they had no issues because they had a lot of power. Giggling heartily and weren't terrified of everything. But a weaker, no one laughed aloud because they wanted to avoid bringing attention to themselves. Among other things, the idea is lengthy because it is unnecessary to go into its specifics because it's not our primary focus. But in summary, a powerful man lets out a booming laugh. As a lesser man chuckles softly in our nowadays, the majority of individuals laugh quietly. Since society and school were noisy, laughing is regarded as somewhat rude. Almost everyone is now silently laughing. However, I wasn't particularly interested in it. Instead, it's another thing that you don't laugh in the same manner that you innately possess. It's something you evolve over time, such as through body language or there's something in your accent. Subconscious. And if you're interested in changing, you could begin today if you can, by making an effort to laugh more forcefully, such as, and eventually this will turn into your, I'll leave after you laugh and do it naturally. A little off topic, and I am aware of this, though it may sound strange or foolish, counsel if you can modify the way you laugh, believe me, and turn it into a Viking-style formidable one. Leader, you'll be amazed at how much your social life and relationships with women will alter the fact that laughter is among the most crucial elements in interpersonal relationships and is one of the main factors that draws men to women as well as women to men. If you come across a woman wearing an appealing, charming laugh that will captivate you. Similarly, if a female observes that you have a robust, self-assured laugh, she will naturally find yourself drawn to you. Even a sexual attraction, which is straightforward and something that you can begin doing today. However, this isn't our primary focus, and however, I am aware that most of you won't attempt it as it looks strange, yet, given that the day I read about a weirdo and a geek, I began using it and attempted to alter my own chuckle, which I can still recall. Together with my pals, we began conversing, and I would giggle when I did, loudly and peculiarly when they asked me why I had described the study. Read and the knowledge I gained regarding the fact that a strong man is the one who chuckles heartily at that point, one of my companions gave me a direct look and stated, no, You're incorrect if you wish to be strong and present. You should be careful not to chuckle too much. Serious the most of the time? So individuals, will I heard him say those things? And I respect you. Words that infuriated me, not because I had stayed up reading a 150-page book. PDF on this topic just for him to arrive and inform me that I was mistaken, but I was furious because of the environment in which we live currently as a result of the film and displays where the gang leader is never seen by anyone. Laughing, giving people the impression that they also ought to refrain from laughing and be serious without becoming too specific. In particular, consider a person you know who must take things seriously and consider whether the reason you wish to be around them is usually not. And if you give it some thought, you'll understand that they most likely no one to chat to and no pals people. And this is true not just for their connections with women, but with everyone's overly seriousness, and not laughing is like having a sickness in your social life. And now that we are conversing regarding ladies here, you must be with them. You shouldn't be impulsive. Overanalyze or fret about anything. Simply just be yourself and say whatever comes to mind. Mind being impulsive and not taking. Taking things too seriously is the most crucial trait you ought to possess if you wish to live a happy life and attract women. If you attempt to remember whenever you manage to attract a girl's interest or group of girls, you'll probably come across that it was as a result of your natural behavior and never made an effort to look cool. So let's go returning to the video's subject at each. When you find yourself exerting too much effort, remember me if you want to seem cool or confident. And disregard the overly analytical girls, like an individual who feels comfortable with himself and doesn't give life any thought, who remembers to laugh and savor the moment. Women read you all the time, and choosing how others ought to perceive you. When you're not telling the truth and sincere in your goals, you may feel it on your face and body. Language and the nuanced manner in which you respond when it's time to create an intriguing and appealing discussion that gives her a sense of openness and comfort. This is the core of the relationship with you. Genuine approach look moment I first began. This series focuses on appealing to women. One question that keeps coming up above all else: what should I say? Whenever I go up to a girl, I always provide instances of lines and openers you could usage. And a lot of people would be in the remarks requesting additional examples and lines, and many people enjoyed those expressions. But in reality, they never truly resolved the genuine issue. The true issue was that they were anxious, believed they had to conceal that from. They felt that women needed to say many things to compensate for a sense of inferiority toward the girls they were conversing with. And if you trust years from now, you'll still have to deal with the same problem and will not be capable of talk to women in a relaxed manner for me. Have attempted countless pickup lines, but the one I use now and discover the best way is to approach her and say, "Hey, you're cute." So I am the Dark Needle, and I know you. Presented myself and explained to her why I walked over to speak. And this is the real. I never attempt to conceal my intentions or appear as like, I'm not interested. Actually, I want her to understand that why should I feel ashamed that I'm attracted to her? Considering that, why would I want to conceal it? Would I erect any obstacles or barriers? Let's take a moment to get what I want, because if you have been following me, you are within this series on attracting women. As you may have observed, I constantly inform you: don't give girls free affirmation. Don't give her praise or show her, "I'll do what you want her to do" in this video. Describe this idea in depth and you'll know exactly how to demonstrate curiosity about a girl you admire. Let me introduce you to a method known as disgraceful curiosity, without any embarrassment actually. When I begin speaking with one of the first girls I'm drawn to is, I want to know if you're single. This has a very apparent purpose. I'm asking this question since I'm sincere about my interest in her. I'm not attempting to conceal it, and I also like coming up with fresh approaches to inform girls I'm drawn to them. Quit being so adorable. I forgot what I was going to do because of you. Comment: what a very cute individual. I can already see that you're. Will you like us if we just skip everything and tie the knot right away if you're attempting to get my approval? Appears to be functioning, as you can employ this method regardless of whether it's your first time meeting her and striking up a discussion, or if it's a second date. However, if you happen to meet someone Whether she works as a coworker or a classmate, you can begin with casual ER. Talk and bide your time till you're on a date to use this strategy the most. The reason men become disoriented in gray zones is their reluctance to be open in sincere fascination with a girl. This simple interest eliminates all the ambiguities and renders everything entirely black. Or white, it's really straightforward to be honest, and genuine. And it doesn't call for any kind of game or overly astuteness, but girls are attracted to you, but it does require bravery. To have the guts to keep in mind that moment, but you shouldn't let her see that you're completely convinced of her. So how do, as I mentioned in this, you do that? Series, if a female is even somewhat gorgeous, she typically possesses a sort of high ego, which indicates that when you talk to, she automatically believes that you're, if you try to hide your interest in her, your appeal, she will either perceive you as feeble, incapable of being natural, or she'll create a friend zone for you. So there's no issue demonstrating your interest. However, you shouldn't express your desire to her. Pay close attention. This is a renowned rule must always keep in mind that there is no problem. By displaying her, she draws your attention. It's important not to express your desire for her. Her full meaning, if you will, I admire your hair, for example, which is simultaneously informal if there's, you can tell when you don't like something. Her that as well. In addition, some I could be misinterpreted here, and I believe I'm instructing you to give her praise. However, there is a significant distinction between displaying shameless curiosity and providing. For instance, you could say, "Congratulations," such as your shameless hair. Curiosity, but if you claim that your hair is lovely, which is a compliment, and it's something she always hears of you. By doing this, you'll first communicate two things. You will continue to be in the buddy zone as, usually friends receive compliments first. The fact that you weren't, it will make you appear weak, able to honestly convey your interest, and this is what distinguishes a lover and a buddy. Say, "I'm intrigued by you," yet a buddy remarks, "You're stunning." And I think that wish you to keep in mind during when conversing with a girl, don't give her a direct compliment if tell her that there is something admirable about her. It simultaneously piques your interest, so let you are aware of what doesn't appeal to you. Possess attractive hair, although I usually choose. In any case, I reviewed this. Detailed explanation in earlier videos. I'll mention one final item before we. Moreover, when you speak with them, there is not much in the actual words you use worth on their own appeal for. Women are associated with the perception that your words flow as you get close to her and declare, "I want to talk to you because I like you." This indicates to you that you're assured and not unduly worried about how she could perceive your attraction is 80 to 90% nonverbal, which indicates that what you truly say when you initially approaching a girl is not very significant. The way you phrase it is what counts. Give a brief introduction and discuss, tell a joke, or make advantage of any dating coach's brilliant line. Personally, I would rather keep things clear-cut and easy, so I avoid overanalyzing and maintain your composure. Because the actual attractions are not used in spoken conversation, but rather in nonverbal or what we refer to as subcommunication, which encompasses your tone body language, tone of speech, and appearance the way you're breathing at her, and so on. Subcommunication addresses the subconscious, where sexual and emotional desire originate from. Additionally, do you recall what I said in this series? One of the films shows how women are drawn to men by nature. They think that other women prefer males who possess a variety of choices. There are some significant variations in the conduct and these men's subcommunication in comparison. For those without alternatives, here's one significant distinction between guys with alternatives. Think they are attractive to women. They are accustomed to a lot of ladies being. When they encounter a new woman, they are intrigued. They believe she is drawn to them as well. And it doesn't matter if she isn't. They don't become agitated or they become upset or make a big deal out of it. Take it easy and contrast it with males who, without a lot of choices, they usually believe that women aren't drawn to, since that has been their life experience thus far. If by occasion they come across a girl who even displays they cling to her with a hint of interest. Believing that they will not be able to find another, they secretly don't think they deserve the women they want in order to make a special effort to make up for that. However, Did you ever observe that the you put more effort into trying to win a girl over? The less she does in reality, the because men who put in too much effort are subtle, expressing the fact that they don't have many options and women don't find guys attractive. They don't have choices. I know I keep saying this notion, but only because it's crucial that women desire males who options and men who possess them believe if you were to presume attraction, you would stare her in the eyes out of attraction. Tell her who you are and why you came over and said, "Hey, you look good," what your name is, whether you're feeling well, and possess something amazing or appealing to, go ahead and say it by all means, but only if you truly feel it, since that will be displayed in your subcommunication in the event that you're feeling. Don't do it if you're anxious or unsure. Don't overthink things. Just say hello and make it your mission to explain to her why you came. Goal to ascertain her identity and if she is fascinating and worthy of your attention. Anything more than that is over. Effort that actually works against you. Your initial statement isn't significant and unmemorable. What people will remember is how you arrived. And the way you made her feel, by the way, don't rewrite. You recall the tale I shared with you at the starting, but that's not what occurred when the individual who went and spoke. It was my friend, not me, that spoke to that girl. Who was with me when my story came to an end? When I was still considering what I should say, and the evening came to a conclusion without the female and without my pal, I genuinely regretted passing up that chance. But I gained a lot of knowledge from that encounter, and perhaps someone else can benefit from my error. Learn and gain something from it. Then I believe I'm happy I made it, so don't be similar to me. Brother,